we go. Here we go.
Oh
I got these shits in all colors.
Hey, you mind being quiet, bro? Thank you.
I gotta get him.
It's fucking with you. Know that, right?
That nigga said I got all colors. I can't.
We gotta start over. Sorry. What's going on? What it do? That's right, we're back. Straight Up Podcast, episode number 30, this 21st day of November. Thanksgiving week. That's right. We are here. We are in the building. I'm your host, DJ Wild Body. And of course, you just met the panel making its return from a long hiatus, coming back from over there, the motherland, Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome back to our comrade and yours. The band's back together. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for See Me Hustle.
Ladies and gentlemen, man is back, baby. That's all I can say.
Welcome back, man. How you been?
Great. Crazy.
Huh? Welcome back. How's everybody doing today? Once again, Straight Up Podcast, episode number 30. You know what I'm saying? Thanksgiving coming up this week. Hope everyone is safe, good health, and all that good stuff. Yeah, today we're gonna go down. We're gonna have some fun today as well, and tackle some serious stuff. You know, that's what we do every week. Coop not able to join us today. Had some other commitments. Hopefully, he will be back next week or whenever he can show up. But yeah, shout out to Coop. All right, so before we begin, as we do, let's go over the scores and we'll talk a little boxing, and then we'll get into our main topic. Real quick, last week, it was a lot of a real eventful type of week this week with sports and all that. We all watched that fight there. Well, let's go ahead and get it going. NFL Week 10. 14th November. The Bills over the Jets 45-17. The Buccaneers lose to the Washington football team 29-19. The Cowboys top the Falcons 43-3. Titans edge the Saints 23-21. The Colts, they beat the Jaguars, scored 17-23. Steelers and the Lions, first tie of the year, 16-16. Patriots over the Browns, 45-7. The Patriots are now 7-4. Browns 5-5. The Vikings go into LA to get a win. They beat the Chargers 27-20. Vikings improve to 4-5. Chargers slide down to 5-4. The Panthers over the Cardinals. Cam Newton first day back as a Panther, 34-10. Cardinals 8-2. Panthers even at 5-5. Eagles and the Broncos. The Eagles go to Mile High Stadium, get their win, 30-13. Eagles 4-6. Broncos, they're even at 5-5. The Seahawks against the Packers. Lambeau Field. Packers get the goose egg. They beat the Seahawks, score 17-0. Packers now 8-2. Seahawks slide down to 3-6. The Chiefs and the Raiders. This one was a barn burner. The Chiefs beat the crap out of the Raiders, score 41-14. The Chiefs improved to 6-4. Raiders 5-4. Monday Night Football. The 49ers against the Rams. Rams lose to the 49ers, score 31-10. All right, today, week 11. What do we got? Today, or this week, Thursday, the Patriots shut out the Falcons 25-0. Live in the second quarter, the Eagles on top of the Saints 17-7. Dolphins and Jets all tied up. Washington and Panthers. Panthers are winning 14-7. And right now in the second quarter, the Colts over the Bills right now 24-7. The Lions and the Browns. Browns up 7-0. That's in the second as well. Also in the second, the Jaguars 49ers. The 49ers up 17-3 on this one. Also in Tennessee, Nashville, Texas on top of the Titans right now 12-0. And in Minnesota, the Vikings are beating the Packers 16-13. And in Chicago, Soldier Field, the Ravens up on the Bears 3-0. Also later on the 405 game, we got the Raiders and the Bengals. They're at Las Vegas. Cardinals and the Seahawks, they are in Seattle. The Cowboys go to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs. And the the late game today, the Chargers against the Steelers. The Steelers are in LA. And the Monday night game, the Giants go down to the Big Sombrero in Tampa, take on the 6-3 Bucks. The Giants are 3-6, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. Basketball, Eastern Conference, top 5, Nets 12-5. And number 2, the Wizards 11-5. Number 3, the Bulls 11-5. 4, Heat 11-6. The Knicks 9-7. Hornets 10-8. Celtics 9-10. Bucks 9-10. Cavs 9-10. 76ers 9-10. And the Hawks are 8-9. In the Western Conference, the Warriors 14-2. Number 2, the Suns 12-3. 3, the Jazz 11-5. 4, Mavericks 9-6. 5, Nuggets 9-7.
Because I know it's GT2 RS and it's a regular. I've been looking to see if it was a GT2. It's not 4-wheel drive and none of that stuff, right? Oh, okay.
Number 7, the Blazers 9-8. Number 9, the Grizzlies. 8-8 and 9. The Lakers 8-9. And ladies and gentlemen, that is our scores and stats. NFL, a little bit of NBA standings. That's it. All right. What's Pot ordering a cheeseburger with a transfer case?
This nigga pulled up on somebody. I didn't want to know that was a GT.
Shout out to See Me Hustle in the chat saying See Me Hustle is back in the building. Man, so real quick, I know we're going to extend with sports a little bit today, but the Porter Crawford won last night. Las Vegas, actually the fight of the year. Terrence Crawford taking on Porter. We watched the fight last night. It was a good fight. I think fight of the year. Don't like the way it ended though. I don't like what his father said to him. Said to the crowd after when they were interviewing him, saying that he wasn't ready. I just, I would have a problem with that, but I ain't that man's, that ain't my father and whatnot. What do you guys, what's your take on the whole thing in a nutshell? Those of you who caught that.
After a loss, that definitely was a terrible, speech from his father. He's like pretty much berated him and picked up the next man.
Right. That was sad.
I mean? In front of everybody in the middle of the ring. Why would you do that? And so, I think that's going to take away from his confidence a little bit.
So I thought about that. And then, I nobody knows the inner dealings with them, like between them two. But say, for instance, right, that the dad was telling him over and over during the training, like, yo, you know what I mean? I need your best, or I'm not getting your best, or his son distracted for whatever reason, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he couldn't reach him during the training. What step would you take to let this dude know at that point? If that's the way it went down, then I guess it's part of me that understands the way he went about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
obviously, there's two different ways you can handle that. Number first, if you couldn't get through to him, maybe you shouldn't be his coach anymore. Maybe you should be his trainer.
Yeah.
And everything's got to be handled like that behind closed doors, because the internet's going to eat it up and put their own spin on it, and it's going to be a distraction. So
I'm
now,
not arguing that. I'm just saying, if the father just said he looked at it as a point of where, like, I'm not reaching this dude, you know what I mean? Like, what other options do I have?
Definitely not gonna reach him now doing that shit in the middle of the ring in front of everybody. I'm like, fuck you, Dad. You got
he was out of options and shit, and he just like,
RTO Beats in the chat says he
would be out of a job.
Scenes. Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah, that should have been in behind closed doors. Whatever you thought, that couldn't have been to help him. What did that help in that situation? It helped nothing.
It ain't help nothing. Yeah.
If you looked on dude's face, he didn't want to be there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dude was like, yo, you know what I mean? He didn't want to be there, man.
Yeah. No question.
Who wants to be there? Go ahead.
Right.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, you know, maybe the dad, and then I'm just, you know, I'm playing devil's advocate here because I don't think that was right either. But I'm just saying maybe the dad just felt he had no other option but to put his son on blast. You know what I mean?
Okay. Do you think the fight should have threw the fight? Was the fight over? I mean, he
was starting to take a beating there towards the end. And listen, man, you know, I done seen worse than that.
I've seen a lot worse. Exactly.
Nah, but you got to save your fighter though. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Because he was chipping away at him, man. Eventually, he was gonna get worse and worse, man.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. I see worse stoppages than that. Stoppages that I totally was like, yo, what are they doing? Right. You know what I mean? So that one,
I know
maybe
we want
50-50, but
right. I know we want to see blood, guts, gory, all kind of shit. But you know, us as fans and spectators, but you know, I just feel like people, I mean, yeah, man, you gotta look out for your fighters and you want to stop it. You don't want to see anyone's bell rung and have any brain damage or something like that. But it doesn't, I want to see more, man. I guess, you know, this is not WWE where things are predetermined. But yeah, I don't know. I think that, yeah, he was frustrated. Porter really wanted to win. He was, you know, hitting the mat and punching and just losing his mind, man. I thought he was about to turn it on after that. I would like to see what would have happened if the fight continued after that, you know. So
I think he would have got wild. I think he would have got too wild and
even more wild. Yeah.
And Crawford would have just kept chipping at him. You know what I mean? Chipping at him.
Yeah.
Hey, unmute, Pop.
I can't. Pop, unmute, bro. You're muted.
Oh yeah, he told you know he got
talking.
Ordering transmissions and brake pads was fries.
Hey yo,
yeah.
His father, Sean Porter was ready for that fight, man. He was sharp as hell in that fight. I disagree with anything he said. I think he was just he felt a certain kind of way how the fight ended, and to me, Sean got caught out there because at a certain point in time, you got to slow your roll with what you do best. He needed to sit back a little bit. I think after getting knocked down, he jumped up and he just straight up started attacking with, because I guess how you get mad, you just got knocked down. So you trying to redeem yourself. So he come back in not thinking, Crawford, again, he composed, he patient. So he just gave him too much right there. He should have sat back and relaxed a little and got back into it again. I think he jumped into it too fast. He even said that anyway. He's like, he just wanted to get back. He jumped in too fast. He should have sat back a little bit, get back and, get get
calm
back.
Calm down. He needs to calm down. Take it down a notch.
Yeah, because he was sharp. His movements.
Has he ever done that? Has he ever calmed down before though?
But that's what he needs, I think.
Yeah, is that his MO to not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not expert on Sean Porter, so
yeah, he does that. But you can't do that with Crawford though. And he know that. Crawford, once you stung like that and you want to jump back into the fight like that, you gotta.
That's a hard thing to do though, because most of us fall back on what we do naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard.
But his father was protected because he was in top shape. It ain't nothing he had to tell him. That man was in top shape in that fight. That man looked good in that fight.
His win was there. His win was there.
Everything was there. went
I don't
about
know.
it wrong.
He might
He
not have
said
been
it,
as sharp.
I think the
sharp as he
game,
normally
not to
was,
stay too
man.
much on this, but I think the game plan for Crawford was to wait until Porter made a mistake with all the, being aggressive and
Wow,
use that
shit,
against
man.
him. He kept ducking. I kept saying that he was going to catch him. I kept
That
saying, man,
uppercut,
throw an
man.
uppercut or
Yeah.
something. And he got caught. And that changed the whole dynamic of the fight. If that wouldn't have happened, man, we'd have been sitting after the fight. It'd have been crazy on the judges. I bet you the judges were relieved because you never want to knock a
Right.
champion off his pedestal with points and split decisions and things like that. So
And Porter retired though. He not fighting no more. Him and his father said this is over.
it's over.
Yeah. After what his father said, I would have quit too.
I would have quit him.
Crazy ass
Now
shit,
he said
man.
they want to go back to, now you get to do things with his son again and live a normal life with his kids. and all that.
Everybody say that after a loss, man.
Yeah.
Everybody talk like that.
He's a warrior. All he knows is boxing, man. He's not gonna be able to sit at the house and watch people. Because, but guess what? He's fought every big name in that division, though,
that's what
man.
I'm saying. He can leave
And
with a
he's
smile on
lost.
his face.
He's lost every big fight in that division.
No,
So
he did. He didn't
Oh,
lose every
yeah,
big fight.
yeah.
He didn't lose every big fight. He won 2 big fights. He won 2 good fights.
He's
Okay.
a rat. Put him in the trunk. He's a
shout
rat.
out to
Yeah, but
Sean
he
Porter.
fought. The thing about this though, he fought every
Assalamu
top.
alaikum, Maida.
He fought every top fighter. That's something to look at.
I mean, that's good. No,
Yeah,
that's
good.
that's definitely an accomplishment. It's definitely an
Yeah, I fought
accomplishment.
all the best guys in that era. Every single one of them. I didn't skip and duck or dive or anything. Anybody
respect
ask
it.
him these questions
Feel like
like
a lot. You did feel like a lot of people is ducking Crawford.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why he hasn't had any many big fights.
I'm gonna say it. Crawford surprised me. I thought he was a little less than what he showed me that night. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was as good as he showed me last night. So,
All right.
I'm gonna give him the props. He like right now. I got him up there. I got him second to
Yeah,
my
he
man.
got my
Canelo.
respect.
Yeah, he got my respect. Shout out to the Warriors in that ring last night, man. Shout out to the Warriors.
Now,
Both of them
his
got my
father,
respect.
his father don't got my respect, but he got my
Yeah.
Yeah, his father.
Both of them niggas got my respect. The way they
Nah.
fought.
off of that.
No, yeah, I'm talking about dude father though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But I
Dude,
think
definitely
Porter
got
would be a
that.
lot better
His pops
if
was
he
out
had
of pocket.
a real
I wasn't
coach,
feeling
though.
that.
If he didn't have his father coaching him, if he had a different coach, I think Porter got skills to be a lot better though.
Well, maybe he did. Maybe he should have got somebody like a Sugar.
Yeah. I think if he would have got a real coach in his corner, he'd probably be a way better fighter than he is right now.
His dad's living through him. His dreams through him.
Yeah.
And his dad.
That's what I'm
so-
saying. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we enjoyed the fight last night. Hopefully, they'll make that Spence and Crawford fight, that money fight that should have been. But we're gonna move on, man. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of violence, man. We're gonna talk
Aaron,
about.
I'm sorry, I want to cut you off, but that fight is much bigger now that he beat Porter, dog.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
That's the hugest fight. That's
Absolutely.
the biggest fight in boxing right now. Them niggas about to hit the gold mine, yo.
Oh yeah, but you know what? He won't be doing it with Bob Arum because he did not re-up that contract, so he is a free agent. Shout out to Porter, he is a free agent. I mean Crawford. Crawford is a free agent, so I like how he's shutting down for Bob Arum. He said Bob can't pay me. What do you think he gonna make this fight? So I'm done. I got to move on. So shout out to him. Time to get money. Omaha, stand up.
Notch on the belt, another notch on the belt for the dark skinned niggas. You know what I'm saying? Give it up for the dark
Yeah.
Nobody want to hear that shit. Nobody
Yeah.
want to hear that black shit.
Black is in, nigga. Black is in.
Oh,
You
no,
crazy.
man.
Black ain't got that.
Yeah.
Yo, Canelo still pound for pound. You
Right.
mean Mexicans own that shit. So we ain't there yet.
All right, I'm not. Well, that's another day, another dollar. All right, so moving on. So obviously we have some real crazy shit going on in the last 2 weeks. Rapper Young Dolph lost his life, and in a cookie store, 2 gunmen unloaded on him, one with an AR, and right in front of guy was sitting in the store getting cookies for his mom. There's a lot of violence going on, man, and I'll give you my opinion on that. What I want to lead into it is generational violence. And I remember brother Ania brought this up, I think last year when we first started to do the podcast. I want to go parallel with that as well, as far as generational violence, violence that is passed on from generation to generation, and the point that it's at now. I want to talk about where are we at as a people when someone can go to a store with innocent bystanders and unload a fucking AR-15 or whatever in public to kill somebody. Where are we at as a people? Why have we gotten here as a people? And what's the root cause of all that? I want to talk about that.
Man. ignorance,
I
stupidity.
think it's a little bit deeper than that. You know, I'm no expert on this. You know, I'll just give you my opinions but I really would like to talk about it. I think it's something that we should have been talked about. So let's talk about it because they had to learn it from somewhere. You know, to take a life.
Man.
So
I mean, they learned it from how everything was running, how this shit run here, man. It's programmed, man. The program is doing that. People are programmed, man. People are programmed.
So he was picking up some cookies, you said? And
Yeah,
somebody lit
cookies
him up
for
with
his
an
mother.
AR? That sounds like
Two
a hit
people.
to me, man. That
it
sounds like
was.
that sounds like a hit. You know what I mean? That don't sound like some random. There's a difference to me between random.
No, it was
know if
premeditated.
Dre feel the same
Nah, that
way,
was
but
a hit.
it's a
They'll
difference
follow him
between
around all day.
random violence. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you stepped on my shoe, or you know what I mean? You fucking my girl, or whatever. And actual hit. To me, is different.
And the nigga was into a lot of shit, so
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta wonder though, like what's really behind it all. You know, sometimes if we didn't actually see what actually happened, sometimes
You all know that violence is a coping mechanism. If it is, it says it's a learned behavior, a learned way of coping and trying to solve problems. If when a child sees her father and mothers, she complains to others about being abused and told it's too bad, but that's the way it is, or she tells and is met with silence, she begins to accept violence as normal normalities in families, as well as domestic violence. So we have to have learned this from somewhere. I mean, we can go back to our generation and the generation before us with people having kids that shouldn't be having kids and not taking care of kids and showing them the right way.
Think men are inherently violent? You don't think that's in our DNA?
no.
To be violent, hell no.
No, we're more of a spiritual people.
War and all that shit.
We actually learned, we living in America, y'all know this. We actually learned from the people that did the shit to us. We learned from them.
Well, but and if you know what's going on like in the world and shit, like just take Sudan for instance. There ain't nothing but violence going on over there and shit. So to say that we learned it from, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I think man in itself is inherently violent. That's what I think.
It's a lot of
when you have a freedom
shit that's not violent.
When you're dealing with freedom of thought, like everybody different, man. Everybody has everything affect everybody.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just talking about men in general. Men, not even black men. I'm talking about men
because men in general. We got people that don't like that stuff at all. There's a lot of people out there that don't like it at all. You know what I mean? So
well, then war has always existed, though.
Yeah, war will always exist because it's the same thing like saying build and destroy. Same thing. People. Where
Dre, go ahead.
I can't explain that, but go ahead, Dre.
Well, war needs to be historically defined when we use that term, because war as we know it today is not the same.
Yeah.
When you go back in antiquity. So that in itself needs to be defined when we use the term war, because warfare was just definitely different throughout history, and it wasn't nothing like what we see today. And you have some wars that occur where people didn't get killed. You might get captured, but you didn't get killed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole nother conversation itself. But when we say let's entertain the statement of men being just violent by nature, once again, we got to clarify all men are not the same. All mankind is not the same. That's a whole nother conversation for another show. So you're looking at a learned behavior right now, and it's so ingrained in our DNA through generations that we think that it's natural because we're on autopilot right now. So everything looks like it's some natural shit going on, and really it's not. Man has the ability to adapt to his environment based on the threat level. That don't make him violent. He's just utilizing his innate ability to survive. And if violence is something that needs to be enacted to preserve self, then so be it. But to be a conquering species, to go around and to create war, to devour and take over, that's never been the original man's nature. But that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a long conversation.
The conversation about the brother who got killed in Memphis, the rapper, I think that was his third time getting shot. Dolph got shot like 2 other times. So there's been beef going on with him with I think he had beef with Yo Gotti for a minute, and I think Yo
Mhm.
Gotti, one of his homeboys, shot him when he was in California, but he survived. I'm not saying Yo Gotti got anything to do with this, but when you look at the culture, it's the biggest problem that we have is the culture. I mean, we use that term like it's some good shit, but
Yeah.
you got
Talk
culture
on
that's
it, bro.
poisonous, and you got culture that's holistic, that uplifts things and carries on life. And we got to start defining when people use that term culture, we automatically think they're talking about some good shit when they really not. Because you got a deaf culture, you got a life culture, you know, you got a love culture. What culture are we talking about? And that culture that those brothers are caught up in, that is a deaf culture. And they are perpetuating by their conditioning,
Mhm.
the continuance through the music, the imagery, the stories, the glamour, and the young kids think it's cool now. Like it was disturbing to me when like Chicago, when they first started with the drill music thing, and I was watching like documentaries on these young cats about the drill music and the scene in Chicago. And these young cats, everybody in these documentaries got guns.
Yeah.
With long ass extendos on them. Like it's like having a bag of chips. I got a Glock and it got an extendo on it. And this is the cool thing to do. This is death culture. This is out. And you listen to the lyrics, it's all about killing. How my bullets are going to do you, how your family going to cry, how I'm going to Swiss cheese your face and all this other shit. This is death culture at its finest. And this is a learned behavior. This is not genetically in us. So we're acting on some shit that is programming. Like Pot said, it's programming. Dolph got hit up and I feel more for his kids and his family. I don't know what he's done in the community far as the dirt he's done. He was trying to change his life around to do more because he was actually in Memphis to give out turkeys. So he was giving back a lot. Right. I don't know what he did in his past. The bottom line is, and this is what really grinds my fucking gears, is when we have all these guns and it's easy for us to turn them on ourselves and kill a black man like it ain't nothing. I'll murk that nigga. What? But yet, when we have real problems in our community, when people come in that don't even look like us, our conditioning is no, the bullets are not for them. Don't shoot them. It could be one of them that come in your community, just one, and you won't touch them through your psychological programming. But it could be 10 niggas that come see you, and you ready to kill every last one of them. But you are programmed to not to harm the one that don't look like you. This shit is insane.
Yeah,
I don't want to go too far on that comment right there because we can probably get banned off of YouTube. But I don't know, man. With the hand claps and shit, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm saying, dude, because I feel very similarly, bro, and I feel certain things should happen to certain people, certain individuals. You know what I mean? When they violate, my question is always, where are the people at that? You know what I mean? That handle that type of stuff.
Exactly.
Where the people at that handle that type of stuff? Right. And I don't want to go no further than that because I just don't want to get fucking.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Ban me to ban me, man. I mean, I can't keep fucking hiding under. I mean,
but somebody somewhere, you know what I mean? Like the Zimmermans of the world and the
they walk around like it ain't nothing.
Right. House, they
write a book and
where's
shit,
them people at that, you know what I mean? That took that hit on my man Dolph or whatever his name is. Where's them people at for them? You know what I mean? Can
me ask all this? Can we attribute this to the music?
That's
Does
part
this
of
have
it.
a lot to do with it? I mean, let's go back to
definitely part
got
of
something to do with it.
I believe it's staged too.
Self-destruction. I mean, we stopped the self-destruction, fight the power. What, 91?
You don't really have those type of songs anymore. There's no more variety, so you can't even like they flood you with that type of music.
Who controls the music though? You know, what
and
I mean?
that was
right.
That was
Jewish people control.
That was done on purpose.
Yeah,
pretty much the
because
music
they knew
and
that
the media.
Right, they knew that music could, hey, let's poison the music.
Yeah,
because we consume so much of it.
I don't want to get into naming the.
Yeah, it was positive.
I mean, it's a fact though. Nobody's talking about nobody in the negative way.
It's people other than us that control.
Well, we're trying to get
control our agenda. It's people.
We're talking about generational violence. I mean, it came from somewhere. I mean,
it's a learned behavior.
Yeah,
it's a learned behavior. In a nutshell.
You You watch your master power have, you watch your master have power and how your master gains power. You tend to follow his lead. If
you're gonna emulate that, That's what you saying. That's what they done to you. So you're gonna emulate that.
And that's the only way you see probably as survival or getting to the top. Because to me, a lot of people are adopting this way of thinking. People don't really care about people who die or like what happens to people or anything, as long as it don't happen to them. That's the mentality. Is like nobody really cares about anybody out here. Nobody, like, we always speaking for all of us, but really we only speaking for ourselves, most of us. You know what I mean?
That's why we're at where we're at, because we don't stand together, man.
Yeah, and we think, how can I say it?
I don't think standing together is in our repertoire.
I don't think
that's how we were
either.
taught not to stand together, because we don't trust each other. Nobody trusts anybody, because how can you trust anybody when a motherfucker that's running the world ain't always you?
Well, but then here's my point again. You know what I mean? I bring it back to Africa. In the African countries, you know what I mean? I just came from over there. I work with a brother that's from Ghana, and he was telling me about a lot. We was breaking down a lot of shit, and a lot of shit that goes on over there is trust issues within them, because a lot of them people over there, it's like factional or almost tribal. You know what I mean? The warfare that they have and shit. You know what I mean? There's no like government like we have it. Over there is more governed by like tribes and shit. You know what I mean? And them motherfuckers fight each other and kill each other, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's ironic how similar it is, and I know a lot of people don't have that kind of information or don't know about that type of stuff that goes on over there. And shit,
do the tribes stay together though? Do the tribe kill the tribe though?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like dog eat dog.
It's real warfare. But at the heart of that, you're still gonna find your opposition at the core of those situations. You're gonna find an opposition that does not look like them, and they're unseen. And it boils down 95% of the time to the have and have nots.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
Definitely true.
Or religion. They'll fight over religion.
Yeah.
So that sums up most of their conflict over there is have and have not, and some sort of theological difference on religion. That's it.
Yep.
I'm gonna ask what to do.
They ain't trying to take over the world.
It's always easy to sit and talk about problems, but you know what I mean? For me personally, I'm a person that like I prefer solution.
Well, if you let me, so let's get into this next thing then. So we talked about that. So let me ask you this: what do you got? What do you, if you, and you don't have to answer this. What if you don't want to? What are your thoughts on everyone owning firearms?
Who owns
that's revolutionary.
I personally don't think there's certain people. Some people don't need to have firearms, man.
Who owns firearms in the panel?
I do.
I'm not going to disclose that information, but I believe firearms are necessary just because we are in America. Yep. You have to protect your loved ones.
Right. And I'll disclose it. I do.
I have a concealed carry permit. I have them legally. Mm-hmm. So I've been through the rigmarole of the checks and balances to be able to have them, carry them. And I think most responsible citizens are not criminals. Those are the ones who, because trust me, to have these licenses, they're going to take you through the system, not just one part of the system, but the entire system. Yeah. You come back out on the other side squeaky clean, you good. Most criminals ain't going through all that.
Right.
They're going to have them guns.
Days.
Yeah.
Right. It took me 6 days. But they said, sir, me and my coworkers went into the gun store. Everybody bought guns on the spot, and it took me 6 days. They was like, "You gotta come back." And laughing at me and shit, like, "Yo, what you got in your background and shit?" You know what I mean? But
that's why I like Virginia, because that's that's like they don't follow. The Jersey has very strict gun laws. Out there, you can go to they have gun shows. All you gotta do, all they do is a background check. You know what I'm saying? You go there. Give me your name, do a background check, boom, couple minutes, background check comes back, boom, make the sale. They make the sale, you know what I'm saying? You got your shit, you walk out of it.
You ain't got to
It's a lot
go
harder
to
in Jersey, man.
concealed
A lot
weapons course or anything. Get you.
Nah,
So
but you ain't gotta
Jersey-
sign no papers. You don't have to sign any papers, is my point. You go
Wow.
to the gun show, get what you get. They do a 15-minute background check, and boom, you good.
Gun shows are the big loopholes. If you ever wonder how do these 13-year-olds and shit in these gangs and throughout various cities in the country get guns, it's all through the loopholes of gun shows and shit like that. You know what I mean? Where you can get through so-called private owners who will sell you
True.
13 AR-15s and shit. You know what I mean?
True.
And then the person that buys it, you know what I mean, using whatever ID or whatever, however that goes down, will take it back to their neighborhood and distribute them to, you know what I mean? So that's how a 13-year-old comes up with the gun and shit.
All right, so okay. So let me ask you this. So say no magic wand here. I mean, we're talking about the violence and generational violence and the gun laws and people having weapons that shouldn't have them. Let me ask you this. I put you in a situation where you have to do some things to stop all the killing, stop all the violence. Where do you start?
You arm everybody.
How do you fix it? How do you fix it?
Everybody. You arm everybody. That's how you fix it, because weapons, actually being armed, will give us peace, to be honest with you, because nobody wants to mess with somebody that has
maybe
a weapon.
eventually. But in the beginning, because you arm everybody, you got too many of the wrong people that got them, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but none of them people aren't
unstable motherfuckers.
I'm about to say a lot of people ain't mentally stable, man.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it's going to be if you do that in the beginning, I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of.
There'll be some casualties.
It's going to be a lot of casualties. Now, in the end, it might get in 50 years. We might get to that point. Yeah, everybody.
But I'm just saying, people won't act out as much if they know they could get their ass splat. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't dangerous if you arm too.
That's how it is. It's like that in Georgia. Everybody got guns. Everybody can have guns.
Yep, it's how in Florida, man.
Now,
everyone got guns.
To a degree, I would agree with you, because everybody thinks twice about going in somebody's house or doing something, because they already know what probably is gonna happen. And we had situations like that. Well, you got young cats try to break in cats' houses and they get laid out. But the thing is, I think Malcolm was right that in the beginning you're gonna have a lot of bloodshed. That's just the way it is. And as the years go on, it'll die down to a level of balance where a lot of the because I'm gonna tell you, guns don't really kill people. Stupid motherfuckers with guns kill people. So as the stupid motherfuckers kill each other, it's gonna balance out to just peaceful people who got guns, who don't want no problems, and that's just what it is. But
that be less idiots.
Yeah, it'll take time to get to that. But in the beginning,
Darwinism.
Yeah, he's right.
But most stupid people, like people who do that stuff, they don't have heart to face. If everybody had weapons, put it this way: when you get a weapon, you feel like you got control over everybody around you, because 99% of people around you ain't got no guns.
A gun
now,
makes,
if you come up in this
gun
everybody got guns.
Gun
if you come up,
hard.
I'm saying, if you go up in a crowd and everybody in the crowd got guns, who the hell you sticking up?
You could be Mike Tyson, bro. A gun makes that shit irrelevant.
Hey, real quick from the panel, we got in the chat. Tiffany Beautifully Me says Southern states are not requiring background checks anymore, so it's easier to get guns, even easier based on your color.
Well, one thing we need to talk about, the fact that there's twofold in this whole gun situation. Mm-hmm. You got people who want to have these type of scenarios where guns are accessible because they want to protect themselves from a particular threat and they want to protect their property. That shit ain't got nothing to do with us. The other side of the coin is they want to flood, the less let's just say more calmer people, the more aggressive people. They want to give them guns so they can go ahead and kill each other off. So the gun situation is really not for us to be in a good space to be protected. Now, if you got a gun and you use it wisely and to protect yourself and your family, cool, fine. But at the same time, take Chicago, for instance. Where in the hell are they getting all these goddamn guns? And they're not getting these guns from no store.
No.
Somebody is dropping guns and flooding guns in those areas, and all those youth got guns.
They trying to create something, man. Yo, if you think about it too,
it's a business, bro. That gun shit is a business, man.
I know somebody that can make a gun on a CNC machine.
People who are the most business is gonna come from people who use them shits, bro.
And it also does something to cops and stuff like that. Cops want be cops. You understand what I'm saying? Like when you got everybody with weapons, you can't be a bully with these weapons anymore. Well, you can't do anything with these weapons if everybody is armed. I mean, that's just straight up. Even a state, if everybody in a state got guns, you can't play with them like that. Everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody on level to the point where,
I live in a state where everybody got guns.
Right.
And you know what happens? When black people get in arguments, you know what happens? Them niggas start shooting.
The guns
never fails.
All the time.
Yeah,
it never fails.
Yeah,
that's one thing that happens independent of what kind of state you have, I believe. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I got shit for you. There. I got something in the trunk for a motherfucker like you. I've heard that.
Yeah, but what's the problem though? If you're gonna shoot each other over some stupid shit, I don't see the point anyway. You might as well just get shot anyway. I mean, just like Dre said, like you let the crazy motherfuckers shoot themselves.
That's exactly what's happening right now.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, but it's kind of something that you reap what you sow. So how could you feel sorry for that?
It's a lot of innocent people getting killed. So I'm not going.
That's my problem. That's why I got a problem.
I just hope you don't bump into a bullet, bro. You walk down the street, you hope you don't bump into a bullet.
I mean, that ain't living, but yeah.
Innocent people.
And you know how you be with the road rage shit, pot. Niggas down here will shoot you on the expressway. Yeah, you cut somebody off, you give them the finger and shit like that. Niggas will pull out guns and shoot you.
Yep.
Yo, if I had weapons too,
that happens. That's real.
It's gonna be a gun. You're right. I'm actually one of them people. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of them cats. If I had a gun,
that's why I'm glad the Jersey laws is the way they are, because there'd be a lot more shootings in Jersey, I think, than in other states.
It's definitely gonna be a shootout. It's definitely gonna be a shootout. You're right. It's definitely gonna be a shootout. I can't help it. I try and let down a window and
you don't need a gun, nigga. You one of them niggas that don't need a gun.
Man, listen, that shit happened. Man, I thought I was going to have to shoot a motherfucker one time, man. I thought I was going to shoot a Mexican motherfucker one time, bro.
I agree. I'm definitely one of them people. I'm talking like I'm one of them people. I'm definitely one of them people. Damn. Nah, I definitely don't need arms. Go.
That's why it ain't never good to just have it on you all the time.
that shit give people false heart though. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm confident
enough. You false heart. You just react fast with your heart. You know what I mean?
I'm calm enough, dude. I'm calm enough that I don't worry about. I've been in plenty of places, man. I don't worry about situations where you know what I mean. Harm is gonna come to me. I don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So I don't feel the need to carry my gun on me all the time or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about that shit. I only worry about shit, you know what I mean? Like if I have a family or something like that, like protecting my family. Them the situations I worry about. Or an idiot with a gun, you know what I mean? Then that's when I worry. But as far as just day-to-day situations, I never worry about shit, bro. I know how to handle myself. I'm confident that, you know what I mean? Whatever situation arises,
I think I move in a certain manner that.
But there's a lot of people who not, man. There's a lot of people who not, to pop point. There's a lot of people who ain't confident in themselves, you know what I mean? And that's when they get the gun and they get that false sense of, you know.
Right.
I would get a pulse more if I
and
had
that's
a
probably
gun.
that's and that's in the hood. That occurs in the hood a lot. I personally think gun education is important. I think gun, teaching how to handle it and shoot and all that is important, because if you're trained properly,
these niggas ain't trained.
That's a good 50 to 60% of the odds of you just pulling that out on somebody just because, number one, because, like I said, people with guns who are gun literate typically just don't be pulling shit out because they got an ego, whatever, somebody pissed them off or they get into a fight. Yeah. They're trained to take down a real threat situation, and they're not going to pull that out until they get in a real threat situation.
Right.
Typically,
yeah.
I think most people of color, the good ones. I hate to make that distinction, but
you're one of the good ones.
I think they should have guns. I think they need to be trained properly. I think they need to know their way around a gun. I think that need to be a normal way of a household learning thing for people of color, of sane mind, because me personally, even though I have one on me most of the time, there's certain situations I don't even go around. I don't go to parties. I don't go to clubs. I don't go to the environments where people are drinking and caring. I just don't do that because I know how that environment could create certain scenarios.
Right.
I just don't hang around that shit. But I go fishing. I do things outdoors. I do things with the kids. We go to arcades. We go bowling and shit like that. There's no need really then to really have a firearm. Keep one in the car. But I'm thinking more or less something goes down where there's an environment that has completely collapsed and there's chaos. I need a firearm. I'm not more or less carrying one because I'm typically in a situation where shit's gonna go left because niggas is acting like niggas. I stay out of nigga scenarios. I don't like nigga scenarios. I don't do nigga shit at all.
Yeah, me either. So I guess we're on the same level with that because I don't be out around.
Stay away from that
either.
shit. Yeah,
I don't like large
I let
crowds.
them have that.
Yeah, they can get it. I'm good.
And with that being said, being trained and having a weapon is no thing. It's just like, carrying your wallet. It is what it is, and it's there where you need it.
But
that's what I'm saying.
It's situations you may find yourself that typically you don't normally be in. So what
Give
do
me
you
one.
do then?
I can tell you.
Create
I'll tell you the story right now where this motherfucker I had this girl following me in Arizona, and this girl cut her off. Because I got in the left lane, so my girl cut them off, I guess accidentally, whatever. So because I'm on the phone with her telling her get in the left lane, whatever, I heard her apologize, saying I'm sorry. So the person ended up coming around, right? They went to go around her car and get in front of her. They was gonna cut her off again. Now I'm in front of her, so I'm not letting this shit happen. We had a light anyway, so I'm just like, they're trying to fit in there, and I'm backing the car up because I'm like, I'm not letting it happen. So the female kept beeping the horn. She beeping the shit out the horn at me, right? Saying go, whatever. So we had a stoplight. So I get out the car and I'm like, hey, yo, calm down. She's with me. You know what I mean? The girl behind me. I'm like, she's with me. So the girl is just like, what the fuck? Nah, she just like surprised and shit. So I'm like, I'm going to get back in the car. I didn't know at the time there was a dude in the car. It's a Mexican dude in the car next to it. So I didn't know that he was in the car. So this motherfucker jumps out he didn't jump out the car, but he like opens the car door and shit. And that's when I see him.
His gun.
And I'm like, yo, what, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Like, yo, no reason for you to even come out the car, bro. Go back in the car. You know what I'm saying? Let's go on about our way. So this dude is halfway getting out the car. Like, he's still like, man, don't make me get out the car. Like one of them type of things. He like halfway in and out the car. And I'm sick. I get sick of it. So I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Get out the car. Come on, get out the car right here in the middle of the goddamn street and shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on, get out the car. Because the dude was just he kept acting like he's gonna get out. Like, you know what I mean? Like he gotta protect his dumbass girl or whatever.
He influenced you.
I got mad and I'm just like right there, like, come on, get out the car. We're gonna fight right here and shit. So this motherfucker don't get out. So I'm just like, yeah, that's what I thought. And I fucking turn around, I walk back to my car, jump in the car, and I go drive. You know what I mean? Me and my girl, we driving off. We get up the very next light. We right next to each other and shit. The light turns red. You can't even fucking make this shit up and shit. So the chick, now his chick is angry at what happened and shit. So she's just like, you nigga, you fucking N-word, you know what I mean? Just going in on me and shit. And I'm just rolling down the window like, y'all still mad, but you had the chance back there to do something, you know what I mean? So she's yelling whatever she's yelling, you know what I mean? So meanwhile, we pull up to the next street. These people pull in front of me and shit. And then at the next light, the dude jumps out the car. So at this point, he jumps out the car. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is he doing? They pop the trunk and the dude pulls out like, you know, the shit you what you call it? To pull the lug nuts off the tires and shit.
Tire iron.
Tire iron. He pulls that shit out the trunk. So at this point, I'm like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's gonna chuck it at the whip. I don't know if he's gonna come around the car, but all this time I'm like, at this point, I gotta reach for my shit. I might have to go. You know what I mean? It went from me laughing at them for being upset to now it's really on and shit. Like, I might really have to shoot this motherfucker. So I mean, I'm reaching for my gun. I'm fumbling that shit. I can't even. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like the dude would have had to drop on me. By the time he would have got to my car and did all that, he would have been able to bash my windows in before I got to my shit. You know what I mean? So that's a situation where you can't help a situation like that, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
a lot of situations you can't help.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, shit, I got pulled on with somebody pretend they had a gun, came up to my window, pretend they had a gun coming up to my damn car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they had they shit like this.
had they shit like this running up to me. Got me good too, because that shit froze me a little. Motherfucker punched me in my face.
Damn. Oh shit, nigga.
You just stood there.
Nah, no, I'm saying because I was in the car
He
chilling.
faked you. I did some movie shit on you, man.
Yeah, he got me good because, listen, man, you know, well, again, that story when females mess with you and they say they ain't got no man, or they let you know later on that they just broke up
And
with
that's
somebody.
one of the situations I was gonna go. So I got a couple of. And I'm just going off
you can't really help it.
So I'm
and
chilling.
it could be with a white man or something. You may be in Manasquan somewhere. Y'all get a little road rage.
You mess with somebody's girl, they gonna pull their gun out.
Like there's many scenarios where shit can go down.
I'm just saying, even when it's over, niggas. But
I got rid of
it's
the
like
ops.
a girl got to get out the contract. If a nigga really in love, yo, she on a contract for a few months.
That's a reason why a lot of shit happens is because of shit like that.
That too.
You know, girls
I know you
get
say
people,
religion and
women get people in trouble, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, have nots, but women
like
too.
That,
women cause
dude
that
ain't gonna
shit
fight
too.
you. The dude's
Women
gonna
cause
fight
it
your
too.
dude. You're gonna get your dude fucked up because
A lot of gunplay when it comes to women, man.
Dudes need to tell their women to shut the fuck up. You ain't gonna get out the car and fight. You just stop talking. Stop talking shit. You control your woman, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of dead cats behind chicks.
Gonna get out their car if their girl arguing, man. You can't sit in the car.
Man, listen, that Mexican dude was gonna get fucked up, nigga. He was gonna get his ass fucked up on account of his woman. He should have told his girl shut the fuck up.
He had to get up. I mean, he still had to get out, get fucked up.
And she made him feel like that.
That's what I'm saying. So he should have told her, unless you're gonna get out the car and fight, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they influence a lot of shit, man. But like I said, a lot of killings and stuff always be mostly time over a woman.
Yeah.
Not being honest to something because niggas.
And you want to go get shot because I'm gonna tell my girl shut the fuck up.
Get caught with your pants down.
Yeah, you're not gonna get me shot because you don't know how to drive, right? Shut the fuck up and drive this car.
Wrong cookie jar.
I'm not even arguing with niggas. They ain't got time to argue.
Nope.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, that's what you gotta do. You gotta. But
I don't do none of that shit.
Pride, ego fucks with a lot of niggas.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, that's a good thing if you can, you know what I mean? I'm a little hothead, man. You know what I mean? I say what I gotta say sometimes.
Because you feel you need to stand up. I'm a man, I'm standing up. I ain't running.
It's the Sag in me, bro. The Sag in me. It's the volcano, bro. You know what I mean?
Same head, man.
You know what's so sad about that too? If I said something like I was gonna beat somebody up or like beat him up real bad and the time came, I was like, damn, I did tell him that, so I gotta do it. I'm so you know what I mean? It's like I can't stand down from my own word. If I give you my word that I'm gonna do something, and you know we about to lie, I'm like scared, but like you know what? Fuck it, then. You know I'm just going in. You
said it, nigga.
I don't put no extra energy into protecting. Anything that is like my ego and non-tangible shit. Like I don't put extra energy into protecting that type of shit.
That's a good way.
It just doesn't. You know, at the end of the day, that shit is a moment in time. Most niggas in prison.
It's hard to back down. It's hard to back down. That's very right. Man. You gotta be.
You know why it's hard? You know why it's hard to back down? Because people do not seize the moment to zone in on that one moment and just kind of zip it down and shut everything down and think for a split second. Just think.
Yep. No, we actually do, right?
No. Let me give you an example. And Malcolm probably know this. People in the military, police officers, people who are trained to shoot, they have like a fraction of time to make a decision. And that decision could be life or death. But in that fraction of time, you can make a decision. So a nigga can't tell me if a nigga take a fraction of a second or a minute to make a decision if they're gonna shoot somebody in the head or not. And niggas gonna sit there and argue for about 10 minutes. You don't tell me you ain't got time to shut this shit down and walk away and live. Or better yet, be in prison. And when you in the box, it's like you thinking about it now. Yeah, now you got time to think. Damn, I could have just walked away. I could be home eating hot wings, get some pussy right now.
Though, right? Like you said,
that's ego.
Ego is kind of challenging.
Your ego will get you fucked up. I'm not protecting my ego. I'm not protecting my ego.
Tiffany, beautiful me, agrees. She said, male ego, not women, is to blame. She also says some people feel like it's easier to handle things with a gun rather than fight it out. like back in the day. Like we
Niggas ain't
it's
fighting
trust,
no
though.
more.
That's
Tiffany
trust
always gonna
issues,
take
though.
the women's
That's
side. You know what I
trust.
mean? They always gonna take that plausible.
Nobody want to get an
deniability.
ass beaten no more. That's the
Yeah.
ego.
Yeah,
Nobody want to
you
get an ass beaten no more. You know,
Nope.
come on, man.
Anybody catch
Nobody
on L
wanna-
like that?
Nah, get
But I'm
embarrassed.
saying,
Now you
I
want,
done had,
you want video.
I done seen women
now.
go up to. I done seen women go up to their boyfriends and say, "You gonna let him call me a bitch?" You know what I mean? So come on, man. I don't agree with.
Yeah, I don't
what
like
you're
that
saying.
shit. No bitch.
I don't agree
Nah,
with
I
you
don't
saying
like
at
that
all.
shit. The bitch start. Nah, I don't like
type
that
of
shit.
nigga be like, you are a bitch though. And word is bond.
Damn.
If the chick was acting like a bitch to another nigga and he pissed him off and he's like, well, I'm like, but you are a bitch. You are acting like a bitch.
Women are physically
I'm that
weaker
type of
than
nigga.
men. Women
I mean,
are physically
yeah, if-
weaker than men. So we are
If
designed
she
to
was
protect
acting like a
our
bitch,
women.
then you got to check your girl. You
That's
know
what I'm
I mean?
saying. But we are
Yeah.
designed to protect our women, and they know that. So for her to say that, you know what I mean, like it's not women to blame or whatever. Nah, I don't agree
I
with
don't
that at
wanna
all.
hear-
We are
If
designed
the
to
girl
protect
is
them.
wrong, she need to be checked. Now,
She
she's
need to be
moving
checked.
wrong, she need to be checked.
And she need to check herself. You know what I mean?
True.
In them situations, because you know what can
Like, I
happen.
want to slap you in your damn face. Shit.
But
Shut
the first
fuck
thing they
up,
do
like
is
you
they
said.
go back to a man when they feel disrespected. They run their mouth and then they go back to a man to defend them. That's
Talking
the
about
first
you.
thing they do.
Talking about you know how I get.
Yeah, exactly. So to blame that on male ego. So
But
we
when
are
you laid
designed
out-
in our designate in our DNA to protect women. That's our design.
And the minute you get laid out and they doing
no longer a
CPR
man.
on you and you're dead, now
not
she
even a man
rethinking
anymore.
that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I should got my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Say nothing.
Because which one of us ain't gonna ride for our sisters or our mothers and shit?
That's
Which
a
one of us
fucked up
ain't-
feeling.
It's a fact.
That has to be a fucked up feeling that you talk your mate or whomever into a situation
Yeah.
where they're not even here no more.
Yeah.
And that has
Yeah.
happened
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
Because you couldn't check yourself.
Shit. There's a
Wow.
time where you need to get busy. You need to be real smart about that. There's a time where you need to put hands. There's a time we need to pull out get your gun. There's a time for all of that. You got to be, mature and educated enough to know and to decipher when it's time and when it's not. Certain shit you just got to walk away from. Fuck
That takes
it, your
discipline.
ego.
Though. A lot of us don't have that discipline. You know what I mean? You
I
went to the
don't.
military, and that
Because
probably is where I got it from.
but some of us walk around looking for it though. I ain't gonna lie.
Well,
Some of our minds.
I ain't looking for it,
I ain't
man.
looking for
See,
that.
you
my
100%
problem is
right.
just standing up. My problem is just standing up and not backing down. Like I don't look for shit. I don't want no problems
Nah,
with
Pop
nobody.
right though, because I done been out. I done been out
but-
and I done seen dudes that just they not dancing. They not there to interact with women. They just there walking around the club talking about, yo, who you with? Where you from? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Walking up to
I had a
dudes and shit.
situation like that recently. Actually,
You're like, yo, what the fuck?
Really?
Nigga, we
I
had
had
a
to shut
club
this
with
nigga
females.
down too, but it wasn't on no disrespectful shit. I just told the nigga he was annoying. Like, yeah, I ain't in the I'm not here to talk to dudes. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't even go out really. So I ain't with all the mingling
Yeah,
type shit.
I'm not here for what you
You
here
trying to get
for,
him
bro.
a friend. Fucking cable guy shit. Fuck out of here.
I'm not friendly like that though. So.
Okay.
Did you say?
Cable
Did you
guy.
say?
I don't
Did
care
you
what
say,
you here
buddy?
for. You walk around ice grilling all the dudes and shit because you got to prove something.
I hate
Shit,
that.
you know what I
That's
mean?
one thing I used to hate about that, man. Why you even in here if you get the fuck out of here, man?
Yeah,
I'ma
you gotta
tell you
prove
what,
tough
man,
because
usually
you there with 12 dudes and shit. You know what I
First
mean?
of all, you
gotta
should be
prove
talking to no nigga in the club, man. You should not. That should not be
Right.
like. You should not be talking to no nigga you don't know in the club.
Right.
That
It's
should
random interactions that are okay, man. Like I heard people come
Yeah,
up
I
to me
have
and say,
ran into
man,
some
yo,
random
I like
interactions.
your outfit or some shit.
Or if you
know,
talking
I
about
don't know
what's
how
in
dudes-
here,
I
like
don't
yo,
interact like that. I don't interact like that.
That's
Like,
what I'm
yo,
saying.
it's
I don't know how
packed in
dudes
here.
say that shit, but
Boy,
I've
got
had
a lot
dudes
of
come up to
things
me
in
and
here
say that
tonight,
shit.
man. Yeah, I seen that. All right, cool. Yeah. Oh, look at that. All right,
I'm a
yeah.
non-social, antisocial motherfucker.
It's like, so, bud, where you from, buddy? You call me buddy.
I don't want no conversation with no man in the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a terrible ego though. I do. I mean, on certain levels, but I got a terrible ego when it comes down to combat.
That's up to you to check that though, or somebody
Right.
gonna,
You gotta
you
fix
end up
that.
going to get it checked.
Somebody gonna
Everyone
check it,
gets that
nigga.
shit.
It's
Right.
like a,
You
Everybody
better
gets
for somebody
that.
else
I've
do.
never seen a person that went through their life that never got the ego checked at some point in time.
no.
Somebody
I
gonna
check
check
my
it.
ego. I know what I'm saying, but there's certain levels of ego. Like certain things, it's like you want it inside. Certain things you live for a certain adrenaline. Some things turn me
I get
on.
what Pa said. I definitely get what Pa said.
Sound like he got shit to prove.
Nah, sometimes.
So when somebody challenges, like, please say something so we can do
Right.
this and it's be fair. Sometimes I be wanting to do that. I don't know why.
I'm like, I wish a motherfucker would today, man. I'm ready
Right.
for whatever today. It's not that I'm going out looking for shit, but I'm like, yo, somebody fuck with me right
got
now.
time, right.
Yeah, the truth is, then you're probably angry about some other shit that happened. You know what I mean?
Yep. The audacity.
I
of
could
motherfuckers
be.
to
I
say
could
something
be.
right
Bringing
now.
some shit
fetishes.
forward.
We all, sometimes we
Could
could be in some, sometimes we be in some type of shit that
Yeah.
it raises our hormones, man. Like, and
Niggas go through shit too. And I mean, it may be a bad day for me. Don't fuck with me.
that's the worst day, ain't it, baby? The bad day? The bad day can't. No cops, no matter who the fuck it is.
Hey, I know a dude that trashed the McDonald's across the street from his house one time because he had a
human,
bad
man.
day.
Oh, you talking to me, nigga? You talking about me? Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't say you.
Oh, me.
Hey,
I
did you-
trashed
oh, you see, you
McDonald's,
did
bro.
trash the McDonald's. So tell us what happened, man.
Damn. See, yeah.
Tell me what happened, bro.
Like
Somebody called me on the phone, yo. Motherfucker called me on the phone
you
and
took it too far, man.
yo, my phone called me on the phone, dog. It said something about, can I borrow $200 or some shit or some bullshit. And then when they gave me my food, I took that shit and threw it in the back of the shit like, fuck that shit.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
And I looked at them, everybody was quiet. I looked at them and they looked at me. I got quiet, like, what the fuck? I said that to me, like, what the fuck wrong with me? I just walked out after that.
Because a nigga asked to borrow money?
Cause it was at a bad time, man. Cause there's a person that asked to borrow on some stupid shit. Like, I ain't give you no $200. Get the fuck out of here. And I was mad and I took it out on a McDonald's.
Yeah, why are you always at
You need
McDonald's?
help, nigga.
This
You need
nigga's
help,
always
bro.
dealing with McDonald's in some form of fashion, bro.
Nigga
Yeah.
spent a lot of
Nigga
years
always
across the street from one.
tearing some shit up, man.
That's that
Yeah,
pressure,
man.
man.
Right.
I
Word
think that
up.
comes from pot childhood because growing up,
Pop was an angry child.
not that we were intentionally trying to ridicule him. I mean, at times I was, I ain't gonna front, but there was times where you can just spot him and say
I was
hi,
like, fuck you up,
and he'd go off the rails because he never really. Take for instance, if you saw
Fuck
Pop
with this
working
boy,
at
man.
McDonald's,
Oh
don't go
my
visit the nigga
God.
because that's a vulnerable situation. So it's like, yo, Pop, what's up? Fuck you. Like, it's just certain situations where
This nigga crazy.
he wanted to keep them private. He liked to
Right.
keep shit private when it's
This
like
nigga
that.
crazy.
Like
You
the
right,
time
man.
Aaron
You
saw
right
him get
than a motherfucker,
saw him
dog.
getting on the school bus in the morning, and he just said, "What's up?" and Pop went off the rails. It's just certain shit the nigga don't like for the world to know.
You give it away when you do that shit, though. You know that, right?
Man.
As soon as you react that way, you give it all away, bro. That's why you gotta keep
Word.
cool, man.
Keep you cool,
You gotta learn
man.
to keep it cool, man.
But you better than that, though,
That
dog.
nigga be lashing out, man.
Yeah, you immediately lash out. That's when you let everybody know that, you know
So
what I mean?
yeah. So if
Feel
that
some
nigga's
type of
ever
way.
doing some shit that he's not proud of and don't like, don't call this nigga. Don't go visit him. Don't show up. Don't see him by mistake. Like, Pop, what's up? How you doing? You're gonna be
You know what?
upset.
I think that person is trying to fuck with me or make fun of me. I guess that's child-
Exactly. That was the point.
See,
That was
that's
the
his
point.
own- That's his
You know what
own
I mean?
interpretation.
So
of
Dre
shit. It ain't even
Dre
That-
did that to that.
interpretation.
Dre did that
Yeah.
to that man.
That's true.
God damn it.
That's the point. He said it. He said it. That's
Yeah.
true. He thinks that somebody's making fun of him. This comes
Yeah.
from like when we was young, man, like 3rd and 4th grade. When I used to see him, he had the same coat on. He used to be like he was in the what was
Oh shit, nigga.
what did we
Oh,
call it?
shit.
We call it the fucking rug room, special ed, nigga. Like, the
Oh,
nigga was in
shit.
special ed. So
God damn.
Special lad, I got it made.
but when you see him in the like, you know, when you're in elementary school and everybody's lined up to go in their class and shit, you don't want to see this nigga in line. It's gonna be a problem because he don't want you to see him in that element because he thinks you're gonna pick on him.
God damn.
That's some childhood shit.
What the fuck did you do to be in special ed?
Shit, look at him now. That nigga was
Behavioral
wild.
problem, but now he seems,
Yeah, you know what?
he seemed like a
Shit
normal.
look
You know
at
what?
him, man.
I never had no interest in anything but drawing violence, I guess, doing like martial arts. That's all I cared about was martial arts and you know, I was always in that kid mind, I guess. I never paid attention in school on purpose. I didn't give a fuck about school. I didn't have it just getting given, so I didn't really learn too much. So I had, you know, I mean, I was basically
the behavioral problems will put you in special ed.
Yep.
No,
That's
He
what I
didn't.
got
He
out of
didn't. He
everything
didn't
you
like.
said. I
He
got
didn't.
behavioral problems.
Potty never
didn't-
liked.
I
What
daydreamed
do you
a
call
lot.
that
He
shit?
didn't pay attention.
Well, I didn't
Yeah,
pay
No, it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even that. He just didn't like.
I
He didn't like
daydreamed a lot.
structure, like a structured
Right.
environment.
Yeah,
He didn't
know how to
like that.
behave in
Right.
structure. Yeah,
Yeah, he
And I
hated
daydreamed
structure.
a lot too. When a teacher be teaching you, I daydream in my mind being sci-fi.
Well, I
somewhere.
gotta ask for a hall pass. It's a free country.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
the way we became good friends is I just used to crack on the nigga every time I saw him
That's fucked up, right?
because he had that coat on, not that coat, but something similar.
What kind of
And it
coat
was just
man?
weird.
Gadget.
It's a trench
What
coat,
kinda-
Inspector Gadget shit.
Oh shit.
And the nigga had a the nigga had a
What's
briefcase
my
and
man
shit.
name?
Oh no, hold on, man. A briefcase.
Man, just like
He had a
Inspector
briefcase.
Gadget. Shit.
Like
fuck was
and I used to see him
Sherlock Holmes and shit.
and I would just crack on him and he always used to wanted to fight me. Like, and this shit went on for a minute. And this is how we became good friends because
Tell the truth, nigga. You know how I tell the truth.
I ain't got to that part yet, nigga. You fucking up my story.
Broke ass niggas, man.
So I used to tell him, like, yo, you got books in that briefcase, but you can't even open it because you don't know the combination. So your books is just stuck in this motherfucker and you just carrying it. But
Carrying for
It-
exercise.
it boiled down to this. His mom and my mom used to shop at the same thrift store because we were some poor niggas. So we used to wear thrift clothes. And that trench coat and that briefcase and all that shit came from the thrift store. So our moms used to dress us up in shit that they got from the thrift store. I didn't rock that shit then where he could have gunned on me back. He was just out of the element. Like, you fucking in third grade with a trench coat and a briefcase. Who's fucking doing that?
God damn.
So I just would roast him
Brief-
on the spot.
That's so fucking
Man.
hilarious, man.
Briefcase.
Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. He's in special ed. So everybody in special ed class, they all look like characters. He had a fat motherfucker that looked weird. Pot had a trench coat with a briefcase. You had one kid with skinny with a big head with tubes and shit in his ear. It was this weird shit. They just looked weird like characters.
I imagine they all had real, actual physical like problems and abnormalities.
Exactly.
Except for this nigga.
It's
Yeah.
fucking-
Yeah, he was just in there because
Except for this
he didn't
nigga. Yeah,
conform
he
and
just-
his clothes was weird as fuck.
Yeah, he just
It's
And I
like
used to
throw
crap
that
on
nigga in that class. Put that
But
trench
that was
coat,
his
too.
element. He fit good with those people because he just liked the weirdos. Pot loved the weirdos, man. He loved hanging around the weirdos.
Oh, you like weirdos
Did you
too,
graduate?
nigga. That's why
I do like weirdos. Some niggas is funny, man.
It was
Shit.
Did Pot actually graduate?
Dre, like, Pop, come on. Hey,
I
Pop, come
love
on.
the fucking
Hey,
weirdos. Cause I was a cracker. I like to crack on niggas,
Hey,
man. So
Hey,
shit
Dre,
was
like,
funny.
Pop, come over to the crib, man. Bring that briefcase and that trench coat with you.
Oh, no hard wrestling ass nigga. Okay.
Hey, it ain't my story, man. Leave me alone.
Oh,
All right, we're gonna
Classic
wrap
shit,
this
man. I love them stories, man. Them shits is funny,
No
man.
hard wrestling, man. No hard wrestling.
Harassment.
Oh my god! But yeah, that's where that shit comes from. Back then, he still got that shit. You know,
Yeah.
don't
We
fucking
all
make
still
me
got
feel
our
weird.
complex and shit.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
still the same way. I kind of admit that. If I was doing something embarrassing and somebody see me,
Yeah.
I'll probably say something.
You weren't the only one that got laughed at, nigga. I got laughed
Yeah.
at my whole entire
Yeah.
fucking
Man,
childhood. and shit, nigga. Laughed at, picked on, bullied and shit. Nigga.
damn,
I got a complex too, nigga.
damn.
So
I was
yeah,
a
man.
nice guy. I was a nice guy, man. I ain't a nice
Yeah,
guy.
like I said, everybody's afraid of you anyway, man.
Nah, I don't want
Nah,
to say
I
that.
don't remember motherfuckers being scared of Ricks, man. I just
Ricks
remember
never said too
always
much.
being
He was
tall. Yeah, tall and
always like
quiet
a
and shit.
Ricks was like
Laugh, like always
figure.
smiling and shit. He was always like calm and smiling and laughing.
yeah. He was a figure. He didn't say too much of shit.
Yeah,
You just
Ricks
know the
wasn't
nigga
goofy.
was, you know.
Like I was
Niggas-
goofy and shit, but Ricks
niggas
wasn't
ain't never
goofy. He
fuck
was
with
just
me.
tall and quiet.
Every time when I'm imagining him back in the day, he just laughing and shit. You know, even like that, you know what I mean? He's just always laughing. And, you know, he was always.
Nigga, I ain't laughed that goddamn much, nigga.
No, I'm talking about, but you always had a smile on you. I can't see you with a serious smile on your face like back in the day.
Nigga, I ain't never been a smiler, man. I don't know what you talking
Well, when
about.
I seen you, you did smile, nigga.
I mean, if it's a joke, I'm laughing. I ain't
that's
fucked
what
up
I'm
like
saying.
that.
Like, you know, we could, that's all we did, bro.
I kept to myself a lot.
I don't remember niggas cracking on. I don't remember niggas cracking on Ricks. I would always get cracked. I don't know why I used to bring the heat, but you know what I mean.
Now you gotta understand, I kept to myself a lot. I only fuck.
I
with
think y'all
certain
talking
people.
about two different situations because I think Pot's referring to our EHB. You know, when we were together, it was always funny and jokes.
It was always jokes and shit.
But far as Rick's in his element, like I wasn't around Rick's in his element, like in his Right. But EHB, it was always some jokes and niggas laughing and shit.
Definitely. Constantly, yo, definitely. Constantly. You couldn't go,
I play ball. I play ball anyway, so like that's what I was basically known for. I wasn't, you know what I mean. That was my.
I can see you at what you call Alphas. I always remember we used to meet up you at Alphas. We used to meet up.
Alphas lived on the other side of the.
That place still open, man. Alphas.
Hell yeah,
man. We used to meet up at Alphas, and we used to get
Alphas
that money.
Not open no more.
I don't know.
Yeah, Alphas open.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw that shit.
That hood money going into that motherfucker, bro.
I mean,
them motherfuckers rich.
That was next to no, it was a tavern. No, it wasn't a tavern. What was the place over there by
We used to meet at the what's that liquor store that used to be on the turf?
The turf.
Yeah,
they used to meet the turf a lot. Because T Lamp used to live over there now.
Yeah, T Lamp lived on motherfucking not Borton.
Bridge or Atkins, one of them.
Yeah, Atkins.
That's where we used to meet up with Rick's at. That's what I remember. We used to meet up.
Yeah, because I came from the other side. I lived on the other side. I lived on the good side.
Yeah, Rick's lived on that side with houses and shit, you know.
The turf.
When we first moved down there, man, we walked to the Grand Union one time. So that was the longest walk of our life. Because the cars didn't get was coming out from Fort Riley. So we had to walk to Grand Union. That shit was a long ass walk, man. That's when we seen Asbury.
Grand Union.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Man, well, man, let me tell you something. It's been a great show, man. Good to have See Me Hustle back. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Cool can be back. We can get the band back together finally. Well, we'll have to wait another week. But thank everybody on the chat. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany Beautifully Me, RTO Beats, Shelly Reed, See Me Hustle. Peace catches back on the playback. Next week, Straight Up Podcast. Brother More D, See Me Hustle, Ricks, Lawrence Howard, and I'm DJ Wild Body. Once again, check us out on the playback. Please don't forget to check out the POD Podcast, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. Also, go check out the Pick and Roll Podcast, Brother Ron Wallace. That's Pick and Roll as well. Also, check out Anthony Gadget Mem Scratch magazine as well. Too many to name. Get ready for that God's Favorite Drums coming out pretty soon. Boy, DJ Wild Body, curated by. And that's it, man. Let's say peace on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey!